What's going on, everybody? This is Moose here from OccupyFantasy.com, at OccupyFantasy on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're here to break down the NBA slate tonight. I'm the co-founder and data guru here at OccupyFantasy.com. Moose at CFP_Moose on Twitter is where you can find me. But I'm not here to do it alone. I got our two people from our NBA team. Boyle, what's up, Boyle?
Oh, I'm a little under the weather, but I think we're going to go MJ flu game on this and just get through it. So I'm here.
Yep, so you can go follow Boyle at tboyle24_DFS. It's our NBA manager at Occupy. And then we have Nick, one of our writers at DFS Jayhawk. What's up, man?
What's up, my guy? How you guys doing today? You doing good?
Doing great. Ready for you all to teach me some NBA stuff and let's win some money along the way. So how this is going to work, I just did the intro to introduce everyone. I'm going to go ahead and switch it, knock myself out. I'm going to switch it over to Boyle and Nick. NBA plug will be on the screen. If you have any questions, go ahead and type it in chat. We'll all be here to answer it. But I'm going to go ahead and do a little fancy scene switch and send it over to you, Boyle.
Perfect. So just like last time, I think we're going to start it off just going over the key injuries for tonight. For all the questionable guys, at least. So first off, we have Darren Fox. This is all in the daily plug as well, down in the if dan section. Darren Fox is out. You're going to want to play Tyrese Halliburton. 25% usage rate without Fox. Claxton's out. LaMarcus Aldridge becomes a decent play off the bench. And the last one we have here was VanVleet was questionable. Our writers called it. He was questionable midday. That means he's most likely going to be out. He was ruled out, which puts Gary Trent up into a top play for tonight. So there was one more big injury situation that went on today, and that was with New Orleans. So, Nick, you want to break that down for me?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, obviously we know that the New Orleans guys got ruled out. Hart, Ingram, all their starters got ruled out this morning. So, first of all, I just kind of wanted to rank because I know you guys are asking questions in Discord about who was a better play on FanDuel, who was a better play on DK. So I kind of wrote out myself. So first of all, my favorite play on both sides has got to be Nickel Alexander-Walker. When you take off Devontae Graham off the court and Hart and Ingram, he loves to facilitate and get buckets. Just simple as that. And I love him tonight. He's my favorite New Orleans guy on both sides. And then we'll start on FanDuel here. So Willie Hernan-Gomez is min price. I really like him on FanDuel especially. And then I put Garrett Temple is my number 3. He is really good without Ingram and Hart. He takes the biggest bump. He'll take probably around like 15, 16 shots tonight. He's a really good play. And then Jackson Hayes is number 4. He should come off the bench and play, I don't know, like 20, 25 minutes. He's a really good fantasy point per minute guy. So, and then I put last for FanDuel, I put Alvarado, just because guard is loaded tonight. You got Murray up top. You got Patty Mills. You got Gary Trent, Harden. You got all those guys. So he kind of takes a backseat for me for the Pelicans.
And then perfect. Keep going.
Yeah, and then sorry on DK, I got Nick Alexander-Walker front, and then Hayes is like what 3-3, 3-4 on DK. He's better than Willie because Willie's like 4-7. So I like Hayes over there better, and then I have Temple and Alvarado about the same on DK for number 3. So kind of a little breakdown.
So we have Nigel in the chat saying he got Hernan-Gomez in one predicting. I think he's saying he thinks he gets more time in a possible blowout. So I was gonna ask you, who do you think they go with starting tonight? You think it's gonna be Hayes starting center, or they're gonna go Hernan-Gomez?
So recently they've had Hayes off the bench, backing up Joval. So I think they still take off Hayes off the bench, even though Hernan-Gomez has played like 0 minutes the past like 5 games. I still think they start Hernan-Gomez. So I think they go starting lineup. I think they go probably Nickel Walker at point, Alvarado, Temple, and then what's his face, Herb Jones at power forward, and then Hernan-Gomez at center, and then Hayes and Satoransky off the bench.
So do you see value? Obviously, probably playing Hayes and Hernan-Gomez in the same lineup will have negative correlation. Do you see? Are you like picking one side and sticking with it? Are you, if you're playing multiple lineups, are you playing some of each, or are you just playing who starts? I'm just curious how you're determining there, because that could be a pretty big indicator for the slate.
Yeah, I prefer the starters personally. I kind of on FanDuel I'm going Hernan Gomez. On DK I'd probably go Hayes. Even though he's coming off the bench, Hernan Gomez is what like 5K over there, so I'd prefer Hayes, just point per dollar for sure over there. So um, yeah, I mean I'm kind of prioritizing at least on FanDuel Temple, Nickel Alexander Walker, and Hernan Gomez. Those are kind of my core three I'd build around almost all my lineups.
Oh, perfect, perfect. No, that was just a question I would have had.
Yeah, for
Fellas in
sure.
the chat. So for you guys in the chat, this is obviously question based. So the more questions you have, the more conversation we can make. In the meantime, though, you want to discuss the core plays for tonight? Because on
Yeah,
DraftKings and FanDuel, you have
for,
them both as the same. So if you just want to kind of break down Harden, Mills,
yeah, for,
Alexander Walker, and Trent.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean. I usually don't play everyone the same, but tonight, I mean, I think there's a couple clear plays that are just like hard to miss. So James Harden, obviously, we all know his upside without Kyrie and KD. He can go for 70 anytime they're both out, and he is a 70 or 80. And he gets a phenomenal matchup against the Lakers. The Lakers, I mean, Russ just feeds turnovers. He just loves to throw the ball away. So I love Harden on both sides. He's going to be the first guy in your lineup on both sides. Um, my next four play is Patty Mills. So I think he's going to go under the radar tonight with all the value guards and expensive guards. He is really good. If you saw the Lakers game on Christmas Day without, I think it was the same situation without Kyrie and KD. He really benefited because when they would double Harden, Harden would kick it right to Mills for three, and he would I mean, I think he shot pretty good that night, but he's a really good play. He's a second option behind Harden, so I really like him. He's really cheap. And then obviously Nickel Walker, we already said earlier. Great play with all those guys out. He's going to be the number one option for them to score the ball. So really like him. He's a lock on both sides for sure. And then we just got news, like we said in the plug with the if thens that Van Vliet was a midday downgrade, so he probably said. So Gary Trent Jr. is now running the point for Fred Van Vliet, and we really like him on both sides as well. So I know that's a lot of guard spots, but I think they all have valid reasons why they should be played tonight. So that's kind of my
No,
breakdown.
perfect. Perfect. We have someone in the chat. You guys will be happy to hear that I min cashed yesterday for the first time in 2 years in NBA. Never play NBA because I suck. Do you play your core in cash or GPP? So our core plays are for both cash and GPP. In NBA, you're going to want to play some of those low risk players, even in your high risk lineups, just because in NBA, normally when someone's what we say is normally when someone's chalk, he's chalk for a reason. Like Harden tonight, he's probably going to be around in low risk contests, probably be around 50-ish high and higher percent owned.
Yeah,
but you're going to want to play him still, even in high risk contests, just because he's a clear top play. Nick, you have anything to add to that, or did I kind of?
Nah. Harden is gonna be. I think he's gonna be higher than that. I think he's gonna be like in GPPs he'll be probably 60, but in cash he should be like. I mean, he should be like 80%. He'll probably be like 70%. He's just like there's no getting cute with that. You just gotta play him.
Yeah, I didn't want to give it too high. I just wanted to say 50 as in,
No,
like, you know.
Yeah, I like that, but I can't see how he's not at least 70% cash at least. So.
I agree with that. So, going back to the core here, it looks like a lot of the guys there's a stud in there, and it looks like there's three. I don't want to call them scrubs, but they're definitely cheaper price players. So, what does your build look like tonight? Are you going stars and scrubs, or are you going more mid level?
I'm 100% going stars and scrubs. I mean, you could go like mid tier, but I mean, with all this value you have, like it'd be stupid not to go stars and scrubs in my opinion. Just like we put in the plug, like you got DeJounte Murray, you got Joel Embiid in a absolutely fantastic matchup with all those guys out, and then you got Siakam now, who's at the top of the model, and we love him as a spend up. He's gonna play point guard when Trent's off the floor, and he actually arguably might have more of a better assist rate than Trent as a whole. So we like him, and then he didn't make the plug, but I think Precious Achua for Toronto is a good value option. He's pulling the start tonight for an injured FEV, or Fred VanVleet is what we call him. So yeah, we really like him as a value play as well. So yeah, it's totally stars and scrubs. So yeah, I agree with that.
Going off that, we have James Harden in the core. who would you say is your number 2 star then? Because I know in the core we only have the 1 star. So if we can leak a second elite top play here, who would you say?
Oh man, it's close between Murray and Embiid, but I think I got to give it to Embiid. Center's not that strong tonight, and I think Embiid is just gonna absolutely dominate. He's got to be my second favorite play on the slate. He's close to Harden. Obviously, Harden's on a different level with KD and Kyrie out, but I mean, I love Embiid personally, along with Harden, and then I think you're either gonna go Murray, or you're just gonna go, I don't know, like a Mills and Siakam after that. You know, just kind of like it's either you go like, for me personally in my build, I'm either going like DeJounte Murray and like a Precious Achua, or like a Siakam and a Patty Mills kind of. So it's mainly stars and scrubs. It's just after Embiid and Harden, you can kind of pick where you want to go.
See, I knew you were gonna say Embiid, so that's why I wore my Sixers sweatshirt here.
Yeah, and I know
But-
Garrett's on the Discord. He's like, he's mad that all those guys got rolled out because I know he's going to the game tonight. If Garrett's in the live stream, make sure to hop in and say something.
Make sure you send your condolences for his $20 ticket that he can't go and watch the top plays now. But so in the chat here, looking at the model, what do you guys use for deciding for GPPs? Do you look at DK value? Am I way off? So for the model was built for mostly high risk. Obviously, if someone's really high owned, if you go by DK ownership, if someone's really high owned, like for example tonight, Alexander Walker 41%, Harden, at least on DraftKings 20 or 27%. All those guys about 25 and over are going to be pretty chalky. If you're going for high risk though, just looking at the OF index is always good for just top plays. And if you're going for a cheaper play, the DK value spot's pretty good. So for tonight, I mean on DK, it looks like Jackson Hayes, Jose Alvarado, Herb Jones. It's led by 3 Pelicans and then Gary Trent. So it's basically what we've been saying in the plug, but especially the DK value is a good tool for high risk.
Yeah, and go ahead. Sorry, I was
go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I saw on our ownership projections that Patty Mills is supposed to be what half the ownership he is on DK. Is he like 300 more? I think that's very intriguing. That might have made my decision for me right there. I think I got to go Patty Mills.
It looks like DK percentage from Mills 23%, FanDuel percentage 7%, and the price difference is only $300.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a little crazy. Yeah, so you might have just found a little potential edge there for high risk
sure.
and low risk alike. I mean, he is in the core. So Murray and utility with the core. Yep, that's what we like.
Yep.
So we went over the top elite plays. So I don't see any more questions. Besides Mills, Nikhil, and Gary, who would be your favorite value play? You got to pick one.
I mean, it's gonna be side specific, but on FanDuel it's got to be Hernan Gomez. He's too cheap. He's most likely gonna start. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think he most likely starts. And then on DK, I think it's got to be Hayes at 3.3K. He's way too cheap for that coming off the bench role. He's gonna play 25 minutes, and he'll crush that price tag. Yeah, it's kind of side specific. That's who I'd go with.
Oh, perfect. I don't see anyone else in the chat asking questions. If you guys have any questions, we're here for about another 15 minutes or so, just breaking down this slate. Any other questions you got, keep the conversation going a little bit. So, I don't know, do you have the model up by chance?
I do.
You do? Do you want to give me your favorite DK play and then your favorite FanDuel play under 10% ownership? I think we already discussed your FanDuel play. I think you're going to go Mills there, but...
Yeah, Mills for FanDuel. DK under, you said 10%?
Yeah, we'll go 10%.
I can't, I mean, let me refresh the model. I couldn't imagine Gary Trent being under 5%. Let me refresh it here. Let's see. Under 10%. Yeah, I don't know, because some of these might not be updated all the way. I mean, if Gary Trent's going to be 5% on DK, like, that's an absolute walk. But I can't see that. I mean, I think Anobi is a really good GPP player on DK. I think he's a really good GPP player. We'll go with him. OG Anobi is my long play.
Oh, perfect. So in there, we got a new question. Save 6,300 or under on DK play for a forward spot. So we
60.
could sort it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we can actually sort in the model here. You can go type in by price on DK. You can go down to 6,300.
You
You
said
could
forward.
pull forward, yeah. So pull those up. So I can give you if you want to give your favorite, and then I'll say who the model likes the best.
Yeah, let me I don't have DK pulled up right now, but let me see here. 6,300 forward. You know, there's not really anyone at 6,300 on the dot I really like on DK at least. At the forward spot, but I think the closest would be a Nobi at around 6,300. I think you're probably just gonna want to drop down to a cheaper price. Forward, just
Huh?
because, in my opinion, unless you're like, if you're really stuck on 6,300 though, can't really pivot around that. I would probably say Kevin Porter Jr. or he's not forward on DK. I don't know. That's a tough one because that's not like a price point I was really looking at DK.
So if
If
I'm
you have a
looking
better
at
answer.
yeah, no, I'm looking at the model here. So Herb Jones is listed at 4.5 on DK. So I mean, it's kind of hard, as Nick was saying, to find someone in that price range here. Your best bet might be dropping down to like either Herb Jones. I mean, Patty Mills is up there. I know we've been talking about Patty Mills the entire stream. But
Patty Mills is the log.
yeah, I mean, if you want to drop down, if you're looking for someone just to squeeze in there, by DK, it looks like Harrison Barnes is probably the closest, him or Wiggins. Barnes has an 8.0 OF index when Wiggins has a 7.9. Respectively, they're 6'2 and 6'1.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
I think Barnes would be the best play there. I agree.
you think Barnes? Yeah,
Mhm.
especially leading us into Sacramento. It looks like someone in the chat said Fox is out again.
Is
I
he
didn't see
out?
that news.
I didn't. Let
I
me
can
check
look it
my
up
phone real
now.
quick.
I
Yeah,
can
I don't.
see. Yeah, he is
He
out.
is out. He
So,
is out. Wow. Yeah, he's right.
so do you want to discuss how that? I know we wrote an if Dan about it, but do you want to discuss how that affects Sacramento as a whole, and then if you would include anybody else in the core because of it?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone makes the core, just because we already have a lot in the core and I already have a lot of plays. But I think Halliburton becomes a really good GPP play now. People might not adjust all the way to this news because I mean it's not like late, but it's like later in the day. So, um, I mean he's still under 8K on FanDuel. I think he's on. Is he under 8K on DK? Let me look.
I was pulling up some his DK points per minute, but I can pull
He's
that up.
7.4 in DK, so he's a really good play on DK at 7.4. Yeah, he's gonna become a very good spend. So yeah, if you have that mid tier and you have that ability to get up to Halliburton and you have 7,400, 7,700, I really like him tonight. Yeah, I like that.
Perfect. And then off of Halliburton, Halliburton or Terrence Davis?
I think it's got to be Halliburton. He's just the alpha in that offense, and then their prices are probably got to be pretty similar now. Let me see if DK adjusted. Terrence Davis is almost 7K on FanDuel, so he's 6K. I think it's 100% Halliburton at 7.4. His ceiling I think is higher than Terrence Davis, and I don't think it's really close. I thought Fox will lose.
No, I agree with that 100%. So it looks like we have about 10 more minutes left. I don't see any more questions in the chat right now. Do you want to discuss? I know last time we did a stream, you texted me before, and you're like, "Boyle, I got an edge for this."
Mm-hmm.
You were so excited to talk about this edge. Do you have any sort of edge for this slate? Do you think? Like, what are you leaning towards that you think can put you over the field?
I think Siakam's going to come in underowned for what he should be, and I think that Patty Mills is going to come underowned. So, I mean, I think this edge is obviously play the Pelicans, but that's not really edge because everyone's going to do that. I mean, we've known that since this AM. So, I think pivoting to Halliburton late is a very good edge because I don't think enough people will do that. Just because that's late news, and everyone's probably people that built their lineup by like 12. Some people might not adjust to the Halliburton news. So yeah, I think Halliburton's a good play now that Fox is out. So I think that's a little bit of edge. And then honestly, just seeing these ownerships on some of these Toronto guys, I mean, they're just gonna smash. Charlotte's terrible on defense. And then yeah, I just love De'Aaron Trent and Siakam, and then Precious as a value for them. I think all those late news are all great guys to go to. So instead of going as like 5 Pelicans is like what we wanted to do earlier on DK, I would say condense it down to maybe 3 or 4, and then get some more of these new value guys into your lineups.
That was actually my next question for you. I had queued up. I was going to say on each website, how many Pelicans do you think is too much?
I would say no more than 4. I think 3 is usually the optimal, but 4 could definitely get there in one lineup. It's just to win a GPP, you want to go for you want the biggest ceiling from your guys. So you really want to pick those 3 that hit, I don't know, 10 times value. So it's gonna be hard to pick that, but if you play all 5, maybe all of them get 5 times, but you want to get like 7, 8, 9, 10 times. That's how you want to GPP. So that's kind of where I would go. Just because there's so much value.
So I'm just waiting on any other news to come in. I don't see any more questions in the chat here. So if we want to go back into the plug, or you know what, let's go into the model here, and we'll sort by DK ownership. So on DK, it looks like 6 guys over 15%. It looks like they're going to be the chalk of the slate. I'm not sure if you're able to pull it up as well. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm under the wrong. I got filters on still. Turn these off. I'm still under the 6,300 question.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
So I was way off here. So it looks like the chalk of the slate's probably going to be about 25% and up. So we have Siakam, Harden, Alvarado, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I guess we talked about Nickeil and we talked about Harden already. Siakam and Alvarado, we talked a little bit about. Do you want to go more in depth about Alvarado and Siakam and just talk about if they should be chalk as the model says?
I agree with both of those. I think those guys are both really good plays, especially Alvarado and DK. What is he, 3-1? Yeah, that's it.
3-1.
He's even cheaper than Hayes. So yeah, I didn't really say that, but Alvarado's got to be top 2, top 3 in DK, along with Herb Jones. I mean, I could definitely see you going 4 in DK because you got Nala, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Hayes, Herb Jones, and Alvarado. Yeah, you're fine to load up on 4 of those guys if they're all 3-1, 3-2, 3. Yeah, those are all really good plays.
Perfect.
FanDuel, you don't need to do that as much because you already have a lot of other values, but DK definitely load up on 4 of them.
Oh, perfect. So again, I don't see any more questions in the chat here. So if we want to pivot off of DFS for a little bit, if you want to talk, we could talk about futures again. I know we discussed championship odds last week. Do you have an MVP favorite as of right now?
Man, I was watching Jokic play. What was it, last weekend? Man, he just puts up a triple double every night. It's gonna be hard to beat him again. I mean, like I live in Colorado, so everyone loves Jokic up here. But I mean, I don't see how people don't vote him again. He's just right now. If you had to pick one player to build your team around that can be a leader, get assists, get buckets, it's got to be Jokic. He can do everything, and I think he's still. Hammer Embiid got to be number 1 for MVP. So that's my take.
I think I was looking at it 2 days ago, and I believe Curry is like plus 200. He's basically 2-1.
Yeah.
And then Jokic and Embiid are pretty close. They moved up a lot over the past week, but I think they're 3 and 4, 4 and 5, respectively. I think it's Jokic and Embiid 3-4. Do you think they deserve like more credit to what they've been doing? Like, would you say that's probably a good bet to invest in, considering with the second half of the season coming up? I mean, Curry right now is getting Clay back. He might be falling off of the ladder a little bit.
Yeah, I don't like Curry as was he the number 1 odds. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I think you gotta bet Jokic. What is he, number 4, number 3? That's nuts. I think he should be number 1. Yeah. He should be number 1. I mean, I get it. Curry, he broke the record this year. He's obviously a Hall of Famer, but just this year, man, like, who's more valuable? You taking Curry or you taking Jokic on your team? That's kind of how I'm saying. I'm taking Jokic, and I get Curry. Like I think Curry's a great player, but man, I gotta take Jokic. I think he does everything. every day.
So you guys heard it here first. Nick said throw the house on Jokic MVP this year. He's all in for that.
Yeah, I'm all in on Jokic. Give me Jokic all over.
So again, I still don't see any more questions in the chat here, so we might cut it off a little bit early tonight, just 4 minutes early. Moose, you still around or you dip already?
No, I'm still here. Let me go ahead and switch over to the three end here. So, if you like the show and you want to see more of this, definitely go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. We're gonna be trying doing this at least once a week, if not more, depending on how you all engage with it. If you have any more questions, if news breaks, anything like that, we do have the Occupy Fantasy Discord, occupyfantasy.com/discord on how to get access to it. Nick and Boyle are always in there answering questions, just talking back and forth with everyone. Absolute fantastic resource. Boyle, Nick, you all want to say anything before I take us out?
I gotta say it's Patty Mills and Harden season. That's my take on the slate. Oh,
Nice.
what do you got? What do you got, Boyle?
I was just gonna say follow the core. Don't get cute with it. I mean, that was my message after every single stream I had for the past like 2 years. You never want to get cute with NBA. You're just gonna want to play who's gonna produce and everyone thinks is gonna produce, and then fill in with a couple of those plays that people might not be on, like Patty Mills, and that's how you can win in GPP.
Yep, I agree. Make sure to look at the low risk section too. That's kind of where we went in depth with how to build your low risk lineups. So.
Yep. So, if nothing else is going on, I'm going to go ahead and take us out of here. Until next time, Moose, Nick, and Boyle from OccupyFantasy.com. Have a good night.
Peace.
Peace.